So what does it mean when you ask the universe for a very specific sign for confirmation of something and you receive nothing? What does that mean? So basically, I have an example. I asked the universe, I gave them two very clear, distinct signs for two very distinct options, basically a yes or a no type of thing. And I gave them a timescale of 24 hours. Within those 24 hours, I got no confirmation of either sign, okay? And so for a lot of people who are not spiritual, they would say, well, that's just confirming that your belief system is wrong. It's a load of hooey. There isn't guides out there trying to communicate with you. That's your belief. That's absolutely fine. But what is really important is when you don't receive a sign, it is usually an alternative form of communication from the universe. What it's actually saying is that you know already something internally that doesn't need to be expressed and reinforced in the external world. So what I mean by that is, if you're asking a question and you're asking with desperation and anxiety, like, do I stay or do I go? Like, is this a yes to this job or is it a no to this job? You're wanting the universe to give you that answer. So you can say, okay, well, you told me to do it. But the universe is kind of saying, you already know the information. If you're asking me, it's because a part of you knows the answer and you might want a different answer. And that's why you're testing. Or you need to look inside yourself because it's already there. You're just listening to the external factors, friends and family's opinion, and you're not tapping into that heart space that already knows. So basically, your spirit guides are quite clever. They're not going to do that work for you. So for me, I received no sign. And it's because the universe was telling me, you know the sign. Or sometimes it can be saying, the situation is more complicated. You need to know more, or you need to tap into that intuitive space to get the bigger picture, to get to that resolution. So for example, in a relationship or a job setting, it might be, you don't know enough about this offer. Go back to them and find out a little bit more, and then it will be clearer in your mind whether it's going to align. Or if it's a relationship, it's more complicated than a stay or a leave. It's more about you changing how you present in this connection rather than anything external that they do or do not do, or if you left or you stayed. It's more you changing your state. It's almost like the universe might be saying you need to get into a position of detachment so that your connection can live in the fluidity of where it is without being pushed into it has to end or it has to progress. Maybe it stays in this space of developing into a friendship. Maybe that person doesn't have to leave your life, but maybe it doesn't romantically progress. Or maybe it needs to be in this holding cell where pressure is off for it to naturally decide whether it wants to grow or end. And at the moment, maybe you don't need to be the driver of action, you need to hold the space. So basically, spirit not giving you a sign is a sign. It's a sign to go back inwards and have a little look. And it's also a chance to be reflective. What are you doing? Are you trying to push for an answer when really the universe is saying, don't push, observe? Do you already know deep down the answer to this question, but you're just avoiding doing the work? So next time you ask for a very clear sign within 72 hours or 24 hours and you hear nothing, it's because spirit is actually talking to you and giving you an alternative answer. And you need to be in a position to be open to receive it. So I hope that helps.